Sorry, TikTok, you can't hear our intro. All righty, welcome to the Coach and Coach podcast. We're back for the Thursday night show. We're in the house. The guy beside me, he's the spread legend. He will run it down your throat, but if you mess around and put too many in the box, he will air that thing out. He is our offensive coordinator, Coach Benji. I am your defensive coordinator. I'm here just to make sure that you don't score a lot of points. But if you do, my offensive coordinator got me. I'm your defensive coordinator. I'm Coach Bart. Together, we make up the Coach and Coach podcast. We are live on Facebook right now, and we're also running live on TikTok. So TikTok, hit that screen and show us some love tonight. If you're on Facebook Live right now, share it with your friends, share it with your enemy, share it with somebody. Also, tomorrow you can listen. If you missed the live tonight, then you can listen to it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon, or wherever you get your podcast. Please subscribe to our podcast. Set your alert so you won't miss a show. And if you're not too mean, drop us a rating, drop us a comment, let us know how we're doing. And when you do that, all things work together for them that love us. All right. So, Coach, we are back. It's Thursday night. Man, we had a busy day today in news. But, Coach, how was your day?
It's been pretty good, man. Anytime you get to that Thursday and you get to Thursday night football, you get to, I think we're getting to the point where college is starting to play. You can watch a college game every day of the week, but NBA tip-off, it's just that time of the week where you know that you're going to get to have a nice weekend locked in on your team or teams. And, that's not the case for me because the Titans suck. But,
join the club, buddy.
It's just, you get to sit back and enjoy life, and we only get so many Saturdays and Sundays as far as football fans to do that. So I intend to soak it all in.
Well, man, we really first of all, we want to thank all of our listeners, man. Y'all are making it to where it is that we want to get out and work. And I can tell you right now that we work hard to make sure that we bring y'all quality content. And we appreciate you, especially all of our TikTok fans. We thank you for your views. We thank you for your interaction. Man, I tell you, the Lane Kiffin story that we done, man, got a lot of traction. I love reading all the comments from everybody. Everybody was putting in their opinion, and that's what we want. We want good, healthy, quality debates. And I looked at a couple of things, and man, and it made me go back and look at some stuff. So we really do appreciate you guys making it possible. We thank you for allowing us to once again come into your house, come into your phone, come into wherever you listening to us at, whether it's on your phone, computer, or whatever. We truly, truly appreciate you, and we're just going to continue to grow. We're going to try to get better. And man, we appreciate everybody that has done what they done and how much you support the show. Coach, it's so cool that when I'm at a game, there were some kids at the top of the stands yesterday, and they said, "Coach, we watched the podcast." I said, "Yeah, but so we got to get some merch, man. We got to get some Coach and Coach podcast
That'd
merch."
Be nice. That'd be really
nice. We got to get something out there because man, the kids are on it now, man, and we want to be able to really give everybody an opportunity. But let me Coach, go ahead and just kind of tell us, did you have any soccer matches tonight?
I didn't tonight. We played Monday and Tuesday night and had the rest of the week off.
So you got off easy.
Got off easy. I've been ready to go. Now I will say my parents have had some electrical trouble at their house, so I left work to go do more work. So
But
uh,
coach, man, you
I
are the guy
hadn't
now.
I hadn't
You the
had
guy
much
now.
downtime. My wife, she did a good job cooking tonight. I've had a full meal, and I've been sitting here ready to go, but no soccer matches tonight. A little bit of everything else.
Well, coach, you are the guy because you bailed me out when you had to help me get my mom's air conditioning unit going because man, I was gonna have to move. Me and my wife was gonna have to move in with y'all because I was not about to stay in that house and no air was working, man, and it was starting to look that way. It was starting to look bad, but man, because I called you, I was able to get that thing figured out, man. So hey,
We can figure it
uh,
out.
yeah, I'm gonna go ahead. I gotta send. I'm gonna send uh the governor. I'm gonna send him an invite because I do believe that our Zoom there is a slight delay on Facebook. So if I did send him that, then I think it would not be sufficient for him. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send him the Zoom link, and hopefully when he's able to get on, we will know. So this thing ain't letting me, so I'm gonna have to put it over here. Just give me 1 second as we're trying to, and y'all bear with us, man. When I come straight from a junior high game, which we won again, another sweep for the Trojans, man. We was on it today, man. We were able to beat Hucker, the seventh grade to junior high and the eighth grade. So we had another sweep. So we doing all right. We're doing all right for ourselves.
The youth is on the rise.
And it's getting there. It's getting there. I'm gonna type Governor Brece real quick and just kind of talk to him real quick, coach, as I get this typed because I typing and talking I'm gonna mess up somewhere and it'll probably be in the talking part.
Yeah, I seen where somebody asked about the Heidelberg game. That was a blowout that I didn't realize that that game was being played at 4 o'clock. I thought that that game had been.
Well, I
I
think
thought they had decided not to play.
I think they're taking security measures by doing it in the daytime. I think that's their way of trying to make sure that
Which
they
makes sense.
keep it on the
Um,
safe side. Like I said, I don't want to. I hate that the kids are being punished for the decisions of ignorant people, but I'm glad that the school district still figured out a way to get the game because the kids shouldn't be punished. They shouldn't be
yeah, I think you should definitely give both parties because I've seen coaches or athletic administration that would be against we're going to travel and play a game at 4 o'clock on a Thursday. I've seen where they would be like, oh, I'm not with that. Y'all can come to our house on Friday at 7 o'clock. So
punished.
for both parties to come together and say, hey, we're gonna get this done. I think that deserves a big shout out. And you got the game in with no incident that I'm aware of, so that's always a positive.
Well, I did just send him a request for Zoom, so hopefully he can get on. Hey, you guys on TikTok, I need y'all to hit that screen for us. Show us some love. Show us some love. Let us know that you're there. Let us know that you're there because we about to get into a good conversation. So I need to see them hearts popping up. I need to see y'all tapping that screen and letting us know you with us. If you're following us on Facebook, share it with somebody. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. Comment. Send us a question. Man, we are ready. We are ready. We are willing and ready tonight. I'm going to go ahead and pull up the high school because we're going to start off with high school tonight. I just got a message from Brece. Let's see. All right. Yeah, yeah. He's just typed me back because we definitely want to get his insight. Man, he really know his stuff, and I think we need to get him. We got to get him on because he and I just clicked on Delaware. I don't know if I want to check Delaware scores tonight, but we are gonna start with
Hey man, don't disrespect Delaware. That's where the greatest football book of all time. If you ever to get your hands on a copy of,
what book was that?
it's a book on the Delaware wing T. Which is if you're an offensive coach, regardless of what style of offense you run.
Definitely an offensive coach. That
You,
is you.
you want that read because it's everything from basic terminology to blocking schemes to numbering schemes. I mean, if you anything that pertains to the wing T, it's in there, and I used it to adapt it to we went from the gun, and we were more of a spread team, but we had a wing T principle to us, and it's a fantastic read, and it's a outdated book now. It's about $250 a copy, so
Whoa,
for a
brother.
used copy.
But coach, I'm gonna go over some the games that's in our area for tonight and tomorrow night. On tonight, so far, we got Tupelo Christian beating Thrasher 34-0 in the fourth quarter. They will be running clock very soon there. You got Boonville playing Alcorn Central. There is no score reported. But on tomorrow night, which is going to be a big night of football in this area, you got Hamilton 6-2 traveling to Baldwin 7-1. I do believe that game is a number one seed game.
Yeah.
You got Amory 3-5 traveling to 5-2 Corinth. You got 6-2 Hatley going to 3-5 Walnut. You got Shannon, who is 6-2, going to Itawamba AHS 5-2. You got New Hope 5-2 traveling to Pontotoc 4-3 Pontotoc. You got West Tallahatchie, who is 5-2, going to French Camp Academy. Now that game is not that game because West Tallahatchie is probably going to win that game easily. But that is a game that is a team, French Camp, that we are keeping an eye on because Cal City is going to have to play either French Camp or Coffeyville. And that's why we're paying attention to that one right there. You got 6-2 Ethel going to 5-2 Nanawaya. You got 5-3 Belmont traveling to 1-7 East Union. You got 6-1 Grenada going to 4-3 South Panola. You got 3-5 Smithville traveling to 7-1 Biggersville. You got Horn Lake 5-2 traveling to Tupelo, who is 7-1. You got number one West Point 7-0 traveling to Caledonia, who is 1-6. You got Coffeyville 1-6. Look like he is in the house. I just let him in. Let's see if he's gonna pop up here. And we like to welcome everybody to the show, the governor, Mr. High School Football himself. The governor is in the house. Unmute your sound, governor. Welcome to the show, man. He's still on mute. As he figured that out, we're just gonna continue to go through it when he get the mute off. You got number 3. You got 3-5 Strayhorn going to 6-2 Water Valley. You got 5-3 Aberdeen.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, there you go. There you go. In the house. Let me hit that again. The governor is in the house. Well, my guy, let me pull up your picks right now because we got to talk about your picks that you put us on last week. We got to talk about it, brother. We got to talk about what you got going on your way, and let's talk about what you got. Let's see. Let me get up. But man, hey, I had to bring you on because there is nobody in this area that know high school football like you do. And I said, hey, we cheating the public if we don't bring somebody on here that really know this thing. So man, we want to get your but I do have one question for you because you left off a game and we're gonna make you talk about that game tonight. You didn't put
he did talk about it today, Coach.
He talked about it today.
Yeah, he made a post about it. Yeah, he got on there. He wasn't leaving us in the dark.
Hey, hold on a second. My phone, I barely can hear y'all. Hold on.
He getting his sound together, but I'm gonna pull up his picks as he and to find his pick. But also, man, want to wish you happy anniversary. Happy anniversary, my guy, man.
Thank you.
Your wife celebrate your anniversary, man. Hey, the Bible say when you find a wife, you find a good thing, man. So welcome to the good thing.
Oh yeah, appreciate it.
Oh yeah. So let's go over your picks tonight, man. Let's go over let's start with West. You got West Point over Caledonia, which is
yeah.
that's pretty much a given. Uh, I like where you put Cal City by 40 or more
Easily.
easily. They will be running clock. And I talked to Coach Denton this week, and he liked to stay optimistic. But my question to you guys tonight: is there anybody in the North stopping Cal City from getting
No,
the start?
sir. No, sir. Not
Yeah,
nobody in
ahead.
1A North.
I just don't see, the way the brackets are set up, they're gonna end up playing Biggersville
Biggest deal.
at Biggersville for the North half. But I don't think that's gonna matter.
No,
It ain't.
I listened to a radio broadcast of Biggersville and TCPS, and I could just tell by how it was going. I was like, I don't think there's anyone in the North. I think Calumet City is just going to roll right through it.
So let me
Ain't
ask
no,
you guys, how would you handle this? Because I talked to Coach Jennings this week, and one of the things that puts him in a bad situation is not having the opportunity to play his starters a lot of minutes. And you gotta get that groove going. But when you're always up by 38 or 40 by halftime, how would you navigate that? Because you don't want to, the first round, he's probably not going to run in it. It's either going to be Coffeyville or French Camp in that first round. He's not going to really run into a lot of resistance. So how would you guys navigate that, knowing that, or is it just, hey, other teams beware?
I just
other
think it
teams
is.
you are.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like, if you want to make sure that happens, I mean, that's just what it is. I don't know. At some point, though, you don't want to risk injury or anything that could dampen the mood. But if your plans to play guys for for 4 quarters, then like the governor said, beware.
Hey, B-Jack in the chat just said, barring injury, he said the 1A trophy is here. Have uh Governor, have you seen anything in Simmons that make you think that they will challenge Cal City in the state championship?
Sir, it ain't no team in 1A that's gonna challenge Count City.
Them jokers.
They gonna they gonna beat all the North team by 40 points or better.
In Bakersfield?
I think so
Biggersville too.
too.
I
I agree
promise
with
you.
it.
I promise
I
you.
absolutely agree with
And it's just it's set up perfect, man. And if Simmons can't do it,
They
then
can't.
that's a
Simmons
wrap.
ain't got enough. Simmons just ain't got enough to beat Count City.
Okay, let me play devil's advocate right here. Now, one of I'm not gonna say this is their Achilles heel, but they do have trouble with the running game. Do anybody have a running game that can cause trouble?
No.
it. Not a
That's
single thing.
look
I
like
don't see it.
look like I'll be in Starkville with a long face because Cal City is gonna
Me,
walk away.
me and you both.
Hey, we just gonna have to sit there because my son and then your wife work there and then my son go to school there and he play for the team. So we just gonna have to sit there. We'll just sit beside each other. We'll just be Bruce folks just sitting there like, yeah, they don't want another one.
Yeah, they
They
done
gonna
got
Maybe
enough.
call a t-shirt.
they gonna be two up on us now, man.
Two up on.
All
But
right,
I don't
go
go
ahead.
ahead. Yeah, I just don't see nobody in 1A beating Callum City at all. Not even giving them a good game. I just don't see it.
And this is I mean, they had some good teams, but is it more that they are a great team, or is just the talent ain't there on other teams?
Well, Cal City just a great team, and it really ain't no talent in 1A to me at that.
Yeah, even in division, like this is one time where you usually say you want to have a game where you're being challenged, but I don't think it's gonna matter because I think all of 1A North is the same.
Right.
Do you think it's like think about it like this? Like that, is it a right year too? Because Taylorsville, I believe it seems like they've had a down year and they're usually like championship caliber year in and year out. Like it's just a perfect storm and not, barring something crazy, I just don't see anybody getting in their way.
Me neither. I don't see it.
Even in that, they're so deep everywhere.
Everywhere.
One injury ain't gonna kill them. I mean,
It
they've been
ain't.
playing 2 or 3 quarterbacks a game. They got a stable of running backs.
Running backs.
Defense, they
They stack.
they just stacked everywhere. So I mean, unless they all get diarrhea before the North half because they had bad turkey,
That would
I
be
just
crazy.
don't see.
I don't see it neither.
Even if they got diarrhea, I think they'll just go out there and play and just have duty butts all over the ground. They just still
Exactly. They
Coach,
still
going back
tough.
to the question you asked earlier, does that not mean that you just keep doing what you're doing because the fact that you can play all these guys, you don't change anything?
Coach, you just
You don't.
no. At this point, and one thing that I told, even what I told Coach, I said I understand because he's very mindful. This year a lot of teams, didn't play him. We was included in that, and we talked about that in length, and it's just, it's I think about Ingomar in basketball. It was nothing nobody could do. I mean, crap. It was sad that that's what we were playing for. Everybody was playing for second because we
Right.
knew we couldn't touch Ingomar. Like, and Cal City now reminds me of that Ingomar basketball team. Is that it's just basically a formality. They will be in the state championship game, and you're just playing for second. You're playing for runner up. East Union, even when we got into the playoffs, I looked at the bracket and I was like, man, there is a pathway. And you ought to, we was talking about it. Me and my assistant was talking about it. I said, man, we get to Jackson, woo, get that second place, get that runner-up trophy because you're not beating Ingomar. It was nothing. I don't care what motivation you had. I didn't care how many times you talked about stuff. You wasn't stopping Pfeiffer. You wasn't stopping a sister. You wasn't stopping none of them. And that's how, when I look at Cal City, there's no stopping them. And I think, like I told him, you just got to play ball these last 3 games. If you up 50-0, man, you cannot scale your team back to try to make sure you're not hurting somebody's feelings.
Right.
Because you don't want to go into the playoffs stale. You don't want to go into the playoff. There might be some things, and they might. And I like the fact that, even in blowout situation, you can tell how focused a team is. How many little mistakes do they make, during the blowout? Because that's usually when players get sloppy. They get unfocused, and that's something he needs to see. Because if you put the second and third string in, they're gonna play hard because they don't get in. Let's see if them starters are gonna stay focused when they're up by 40. Let's see if they're gonna hold their assignments when they're up by 40. Let's see if they're gonna do their responsibility when they're up by 40. So that's why I feel like he need to keep the starters in at least 2.5 to 3 quarters.
Exactly. Cause they be out of there about the second quarter, just about every other game besides the Senatobia and Winona game.
And it's like last week, Oklahoma. My wife called me and said his first quarter is 38-0. You're running the clock in the first quarter. What can you do about that?
Nothing you can do.
Technically, do you just pull out your starters in the first quarter? Like, come on.
I wouldn't.
No.
I think you at least, like, I think no matter the score, you can get away with playing your starters for 3 quarters. Like, it's a game, guys. Like, and the clock's running anyway. So once the clock's running, the game's over. Like, from a time standpoint, I mean, it's over in what, 12, 24, 36 minutes? I mean,
with a running clock, you knock about 15 minutes off of that.
Yeah. If not more. I mean, it's, so I think if you wanted to say, my guys are going to play 3 quarters of football and then we'll go from there and figure out what we're going to do. There's to me, that's an unwritten rule. Like, there's no reason to pull. Like, I can't justify pulling my starters at the end of the first quarter.
Right. I wouldn't. I'd at least let them play 3.
Well, let me ask you this. Would you even go because they only got 2 games left. You got Vardaman tonight, you got West Lowndes. And you might as well put that first round of playoffs in the same category, because whether they play in Coffeyville or whether they play in French Camp, it's still gonna be 40. Well, what Shannon be saying?
First quarter.
40.
40.
So do you go to the coach and say, Coach, I gotta play my starters, or do you just play ball?
We'll just play ball.
Yeah, you play ball, but you could have that. I mean, you could if you think that that's a necessary conversation, but you're in the playoffs, man. It's do or die. You're going to do whatever it takes. I don't think you have
Right.
to, but you could. I mean, you could absolutely be like, look, it is what it is. But I'm not. I don't think it's like necessarily like you have to do that.
Now, we used to do that little common courtesy thing because, I explained how the tiebreaker work and everything. So whenever we would play, we know that we was, more dominant than the team. I let them know, like, Coach, I got to get this to 20. I got to get this to 20 because, in basketball, the points, because just in case you end up in a tiebreaker situation, you need to have the maximum points. Like in football, the maximum is 12. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know what it is in basketball. I forgot that fast. I should know that. But we was always having to we was trying to get to that 20-point lead, because if it comes to a tiebreaker situation, then it's always going to revert back to that. So you want to get anything over 14, anything over 12 in football. You can't get no more than 12 anyway. It's either a negative 12 or a plus 12. You can't get no more. So if you beat somebody by 40, you don't be at a plus 40. You just be at a plus 12. So, but with 2 games to go, man, you just gotta. I'm the type now. If especially at this point, man, look, I'm not even worried about next year. I'm not even worried about next year. If I make you mad this year, I'm sorry, but I'm not worried about next year. Get me next year.
If I know I'm going to win a championship, if you think you can pay me back next year, you just got to pay me back. I'm going to
pay me back next year.
You got that right.
Because I'm finna go and get that ring, and I want it to be a dominant. I want it to be dominant. I want them to say there was nobody in the state of Mississippi in 1A that could touch us. And that's true. It's about true anyway.
It's true.
I mean, they probably wear that. They probably wear that anyway. Like how many? I mean, which we're Brece guys here, so let's be real. We want to be Calumet City, but how many schools, small schools in the state would absolutely love to go ring Calumet City's bell one time? So if you can do it to them, they want to do it to you anyway. So just go ahead and do it to them.
Hey, crap! I had to deal with Perry Lyles, and a lot of people just didn't understand him. But it didn't matter if Perry Lyles was up by 2 or by 42. He's running a halfback pass. He's gonna run it.
He's gonna run it.
I don't care if he hadn't run it in the first quarter. Perry Lyles is running a halfback pass, whether he up by 2 or 42. And a lot of people looked at that as him trying to rub it in. But when you know it was coming. He's gonna run it. That was just in his MO. He's gonna run a halfback pass.
Yeah, wherever it falls on the call sheet, and he gets to it.
And he's gonna run it. He's just gonna run it. And it'll make you mad because most of the time when he did it, he'll be up by 60. Because I've been on the receiving end of them 60s, and I'm sitting up there like they just ran a halfback pass. But my thing is stop it. Stop it.
Yeah. It's your job to stop it.
Well, it looked like Cal City would be 1A state champion, so let's go on to the next one. You got Senatobia over Aberdeen. Now, this is one I want to talk about. You got 0-7 Philadelphia over UPOR. Talk to me.
Philadelphia playing a lot of competition than what UPOR were playing. And I ain't gonna doubt you.
You made me eat crow last week. You made me eat crow last week because I said ain't no way, and freaking Kemper dropped the but what happened with Heidelberg right now? How's that gonna shift the division?
Come on with Heidelberg?
Yeah, is Heidelberg in a division?
No. That was a non-division game.
Oh, non-division. Okay. So you got Philadelphia over UPOR. Where's that game gonna be at?
It's in Philadelphia, I think.
Well, let me pull up Philadelphia's schedule. Let's look at it's at Philadelphia. and they're 0-7, and that's still ringing. And UPOR is yeah. Now I saw UPOR I saw them. Now I didn't go to the Water Valley game, but I heard some reports on it, and I saw them in the spring. Now looking at this schedule, you got Union beat uh, Philadelphia 38-6 the first week. Then you got Choctaw Central beat them 21-7. Bay Spring beat them 32-15. West Lauderdale beat them 35-6. Noxubee County beat them in overtime 38-20. East Webster beat them 29-6. And Velma Jackson beat them 8-6. And when you look at Upora's schedule, you got Upora beat Hamilton 36-20, French Camp 43-6, Ethel 44-14. So yeah, those three games ain't really asking for much. They beat Water Valley 52-28. They beat Noxapater 14-12. Lost to Velma Jackson 24-20. Beat Jay-Z George 38-6. And Kemper County beat them like they stole something 70-44. So just looking at that region right now, and UPOR is kind of reminding me of another team right now, but we'll talk about them later on. But you got East Webster. So my thing is, when have East Webster played Kemper yet?
Yes, they beat them. What?
Beat them.
They played them 20. I forgot the score, but they beat Kemper.
Have they played Velma yet?
No, they played. I don't think they. Yeah, they did. I think they have Velma. Yeah, I think so. I think they have.
Let me pull it up real quick.
If I ain't mistaken.
They play Velma this week.
This week, okay.
They play Velma this week, so that's very. And Velma, their division loss came from Philadelphia. No, they beat their division loss came to Kemper County. So there could be a traffic jam for the number 1 seed, because if Velma beat East Webster, that gives East Webster a loss. Velma have 1 loss. Kemper have 1 loss if they win out, and you got a traffic jam for first through third place, and now you got a tiebreaker situation going on.
That ain't gonna happen. East Webster gonna run away with that division. That ain't gonna happen.
You don't think Velma can pull it off? I gotta yield to you because I'm just going off of emotion. You going off of facts.
No, I don't see them beating East Webster at all. East West probably beat them by 2 to 3 touchdowns, maybe even more.
So basically, the Philadelphia UPOR game is the elimination game.
Exactly.
The loser of that game is out of the playoffs.
Is out the playoffs, and I got Philly.
Well, that brings us to another situation that we're about to run into. But let's look at the rest of your picks, and then we'll talk about that last one. You got Grenada over South Panola. I agree with that. Starkville over Murr. I agree with that. Oxford over Clinton. West Lowndes over Okolona. Here's my thing with Okolona. I think they looked at Cal City and said, we can't beat them. And they gave us the we can't beat them effort. Now, I think Okolona is a better team than a record show. What y'all think?
I'm with you on that.
So when you factor in, all right, West Lowndes, what have West Lowndes been dominant? I mean, I haven't really seen much on it besides what they did to Vardaman, but who ain't did that to Vardaman? So I ain't even really paying no attention to that. But let me see. I'm trying to pull up. All right, West Lowndes. I just want to pull up their games real quick.
Because I watched West Lowndes' little game against Bakersfield. That was early part of the season, and Bakersfield they rolled over them.
Yeah, that was 34-8. They beat Leake County 34-24. They lost to Aberdeen 34-6, and lost to Hatley 20-16. They beat Mantachie 40-14, and they beat Vardaman 34-14. Oklahoma. Let's see, Oklahoma. They lost to Aberdeen 40-20, beat Faulkner 55-27, lost to Shannon 41-6. How they lost to South Pontotoc is beyond me. But turn around and beat Nettleton 27-6 and beat Hatley 33-28. So that's one of them teams that just make you want to rip your hat apart, because South Pontotoc, we thought that first game that, hey, but then South Pontotoc showed that they're not that good. They're not very good. And I bet they go back and look at that game now and be like, what the heck? What's going on, man? How did we let this happen? So that game right there is going to pretty much determine the second seed. Is that going to determine second seed in that division, which ain't going to matter anyway, but you get a home game. That game is important because you get that home game. You get that home game. You got North Pontotoc over South Pontotoc. That's obvious. And you got East Webster over Velma. I'm hoping Velma can do something to spice that whole thing up. You got Biggersville over Smithville. You got Lake Cormorant over South Tillow. You got Noxubee County over Nelton. You got Baldwin. Baldwin they just give them the division championship now. Baldwin. I see Baldwin in the North Half championship. I see Baldwin going to Jackson. What do y'all think?
2A?
Yeah.
No.
Who's gonna beat them?
East Webster.
East Webster. If that game is not at East Webster, Baldwin get that game.
Think so?
I got to look at the brackets and see where it falls at. But if East Webster has to go to Baldwin, I think Baldwin get that game.
We can't leave out Charleston either, but Charleston been playing. They've been playing all right, but they not as good as they were last year. So
I think Charleston the number one seed is important in theirs because they're gonna need those two games at home. They're gonna need those.
They got what 7-0 not Northside this week, which will be a good game. They're gonna play them tough.
And if they don't beat Northside, then Charleston will end up on the road in round 2, and I think that'll be a problem for them.
I think it will too.
So now Northside, I remember Northside from last year, because they had the fastest running back I ever saw in my life. But that dude, he gone, right?
Yeah, he gone. Talking about
good.
Number 1.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, he gone.
Coach Benji was the fastest guy I ever saw in my life.
I swear.
I never seen a kid that fast. He was running so fast. Let's see, who was that? Chris Ford said he think East Webster wins the North. Chris Ford, go to sleep, son. You and Governor, I ain't trying to hear what y'all got to say. Ford said, let's see, Coach B. Jack, let's see what he said. He said we sleeping on Charleston and Northside. And Governor, he just said that. But B. Jack, I believe that the success of Charleston and Northside is if they get home field advantage. I don't see, and it's unfortunate, but I just don't see them going to a Baldwin or to a to a East Webster and beating them there because, like I said, not saying because of officials or anything, but especially at East Webster, that place is spooky. They play, I don't know if because where their locker room is located, but that place is spooky, man. And they play different there.
You guys have
a
vibe to it, yeah.
Oh man, that place spooky, man.
I've never been there when I was a coach. I'd never been there where it was like not about 38 and pouring down rain. It seems like when you get in that late,
always cold and rainy.
Cold and rainy there, man.
East Webster is the new Seattle. So you don't want to go there. You do not want to go there for a North Half game or because it's going to be cold and rainy.
But I watched Baldwin and play Water Valley, and I watched them play Biggersville too, and they didn't look too good to me. They did.
Hey, somebody in the chat said also you got to walk 50 yards to get to the field from the locker room. Yeah, they put you in a bad situation. They want it to be tough. They want it to be tough. So, man, I got the wrong shirt on. I can't see my doggone. I can't see the chat because it's reflected on my shirt because it's bright. So I'm having to put my arm up so I can see what they're saying in the chat so I can respond to it. Okay, you got let's see, you got I said Baldwin over Hamilton. You got LaFleur County over Coffeyville. You got Simmons over Riverside. You got Tupelo over Horn Lake. You got Kosciuszko over Yazoo County. And you got Union over St. Andrews. But let's talk about the game. The game that's going to decide, man, when I say it's so much that's on stake Friday night, if we win, we're in the driver's seat to the second seed. If we lose, there's a possibility that we're not in the playoffs. Tell me, guys, what y'all think about tomorrow night.
Just got to go out and play ball. Need a big game from the defense.
And one thing that I've seen on defense, we have not been tackling very well the last
We'll get in the backfield and just
they get there.
Make the tackle.
They get there and can't make the tackle. And if the tackling is cleaned up this week, because Coach, you got some insight on Myrtle. Kind of shoot us some of that what you saw this week.
I mean, I agree with what y'all are saying. You got to play defense because I think that when you look at them offensively, I don't know if they're going to run right by us. I think we've got plenty of speed, but I do think they're a physical group. And I just go back and look at the East Union game where East Union kind of leaned on us, and they never just hit huge explosive plays, but they would get in second and 5 and then or third and 1 and convert and just put a long drive together, just running it right at you. I think Myrtle's capable of that. That back, he's a big guy. I think he'll be, it'd be important to get him on the ground. That's just kind of what I saw from their offense. I wasn't blown away by any speed or anything. They're capable, but I think if you can match their physicality, you got a great shot.
Governor, one of the things that I saw, I think after the Water Valley loss, it took, because you could see it emotionally, it took a lot out of the team. And like I told Coach Benji last week, when you're not accustomed to this era that you're in, the winner, because like I said, unfortunately, and you saw practices for the last 8-9 years. You be out there, you watch the practices, you seen how it's been over the years. And to be in a situation like they were in and to have it, slip from your fingers, and you can almost feel that it was reverting back. I think last week we came out very flat. I I don't think we had the energy because I even text Coach Benji. I was like, I told him after the game, I said, man, it was one play where MS Palmer had 13 on the field, and then the next play they had 12. And I said it was crazy that and we just came out flat. Do you think because of the loss to Water Valley and the loss to Union,
it took a lot out on the team?
And not only that, but now it's almost like, oh man, we can't get home field now. Do you think that demeanor clicked in to where they played to where they thought they was at the time?
I agree to that.
And I think it's a long season too, and there's always peaks and valleys. And I do, I talked to one of the players, might have been last Sunday or this past Sunday or Monday, and I do think they realized that things are still on the table for them. So maybe you're heading out of that valley, you can get back up. And I think that this is a matchup. There's, if you can scheme things right, there's things that Brece is capable of. I just think that there's speed there that you could get. There's a speed advantage that if you do it right, you can get back off the mat and have a chance this week. I think we're going to see us get out of that valley, get back climbing in the right direction.
Yeah, we got a chance.
Well, Jake Logan said it's Brece 35, Myrtle 28. I don't think Coach Rob Allen liked them 28 points, but but we'll take that win. But I do feel like that because we was riding on. When I say this team have went through every football emotion that you could possibly go through in a season, because just a few weeks ago we were talking about an undefeated season. Just a few weeks ago we was talking about a number 1 seed, and then all of a sudden after 2 games we was talking about crap. Now we finna hit the road or not make the playoffs at all. to be rolled back around to saying, okay, now we got a chance to host a playoff game again.
Yep.
Like to go through all of that, man, it's crazy just thinking about it. But I think now that once again that they know that there's because this group because of their youth, they know they play better when there's something to play for. I think they gotta have something to play for. And now that they know they playing for something, and me, I want to be at home that first playoff game. I want to be
Me
at home.
too.
Now, I would if I gotta go somewhere, as long as we're in the playoff, we're in the playoff. I'm good. But I would much rather be at home for that first playoff game.
It would be an
I would too.
accomplishment that this group of seniors could hold and say that this hasn't been done in a long time. I mean that within itself should be motivation.
2014
Yeah.
was the last home playoff game against Jay-Z George. That was 11 years ago.
And we beat them like 38-6 first round, something like that.
And it was 38 degrees.
Yeah, it was
I'll
cold.
never forget that night because you know me, I'm a creature of habit. And the whole playoffs, all I had on was a baseball long sleeve, and it was 38 degrees. And after that game, we play Amazing Grace. I was right there on the end. As soon as they hit that last note, I wasn't shaking nobody's hand. I ran in that locker room and I got under that heater because man, I like to froze to death that night. So they got a golden opportunity to do something that has not been done in 11 years. And me, I know you guys are too. We're tired of being, and I'm in a different situation than you guys. I grew up in the 90s. I grew up in that era where the playoffs was just a formality. I mean, we're going to the playoffs, buddy. But then when we talked the other night, I didn't realize until we discussed it how close we were in a couple of those years of not even making the playoffs at all. The 96 state championship team, we were a couple of points away of not making the playoffs. If we wouldn't have beat Count City by the points that we beat them by, we would have missed the playoffs. And that team, imagine that team not in the playoffs. And a good Oklahoma team missed the playoffs that year. And they beat us. They beat us, but they couldn't beat Count City. So it's just crazy how the things can work out. And one thing I can say is when it comes to playoff football, if you are even, because I still think skill-wise, we have a good team skill-wise. It's talent-wise, this is one of the better teams we have had in a long time. They're skilled at every position. Freaking Jermaine is 202 yards away from being the second 1,000-yard receiver in Brece history. Tyreek was the first, and he's 202 yards away. You got freaking Marcus Brown, number 10 in the state in tackles. Jermaine is number 8 in yards. So we got the talent there. And it's trying to get the mentality to push past the bad moments. And, what do we do if Myrtle score on the first drive? I think that's going to tell the tale. If Myrtle score, we'll know where we're going to be at, because I feel like if we keep our composure and not allow what happened, I think we'll be okay.
I agree to that.
Yeah, I agree.
So, Coach, man, this is not the last time you're gonna be on with us, brother. We definitely got to bring you on for the playoffs. Man, I know I kept looking at the time to make sure that we get you out right there, get you out in time. But man, we sure appreciate you coming on and being with us tonight, man. And we definitely. Hey, the next time you come on, I'm gonna have your tag ready to go. We're gonna have your theme music gonna come on. But man, we sure appreciate you coming on. Make sure y'all follow the Governor Brece on Facebook, man. If you want to know all things basketball, and if you like the ugly Chiefs, then he's right there for you too. If you like the ugly Oregon Ducks, then he's one of that too. But he is an Ole Miss guy, and I love that in him. And man, I hope you got some basketball in your system, because we'll come calling on you for basketball too, man.
Oh yeah, I do.
Well, appreciate you coming on, my guy. Man, be careful on the road tonight, man, and we sure appreciate you, bro.
I appreciate you.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Well, that was some good stuff right there, brother.
Absolutely.
That's some good stuff, man. I like I said, his insight on things, man. He really gets deep in that stuff. Uh, Somebody in the chat said, "Do Bruce play at home tomorrow?" Yes, we play at home tomorrow. Make sure you there. Game start at 7 o'clock. We need y'all in the house. Let's see. That thing I just. Yeah, you know what? I'm with you, Box. In the chat, if he'd have caught most of the passes that he did drop, he would already be at 1,000. And that's what's crazy. He have dropped some passes this year that would already put him at 1,000. So he should have been eclipsed that already. But to go to the, like I said, Tyreek was the first 1,000-yard receiver, and to have that about to happen again is pretty amazing. So, Coach, now it is time to talk about some SEC football, my guy. I'm going to throw it to you, Jermaine, and I'm going to be I'm going to be Joshua Long. I'm throwing you the SEC. Take it away, my guy.
Yeah, so big weekend. We'll go over the games and we'll stop and talk about them as we go. But I'm gonna go ahead and go big from the start. My SEC, like if I had a lock of the week, we got Arkansas hosting the Auburn Tigers, 11:45 SEC Network. Arkansas is a 3.5-point favorite, and I believe Arkansas ends the Hugh Freeze era.
So is this? So we're calling it right now. You saying after 2:30 Saturday afternoon, that will be it for Hugh Freeze in Auburn.
For all intents and purposes, I mean, I do think that they're going to wait. They may wait till the end of the year to let him go, but I think that this is the point of no return. I think this is a game that, like, the decision will be made, and he could be out Sunday at lunch. They may call a meeting before the coaches meet or whatever and do it. But I do think this is the end as far as there is no return. There's no saving it. I think when you look at Arkansas, I think they're elite offensively. I read comments or posts on Twitter and
or was it just our defense?
No, I mean they're doing it to everybody. They put 42 on A&M. Outside of that Notre Dame game, they've looked really good offensively.
Frederick Miller just gave the SEC a thumbs down. Frederick, going back to North Carolina with that stuff, man.
But my thing is, and I know that Auburn has a good defense, but I think A&M has a good defense, and Arkansas put 42 on them. My problem is if Arkansas scores, and I know they're horrid defensive. I mean, two things can be true at once. Arkansas can be 2-5 and have an elite offense. But they are, as good as they are on offense, they're bad on defense. But I don't think Auburn's any good on offense. They're talking about playing more than one quarterback. They're talking about making a move from Jackson.
Not again. That stuff don't work. That show desperation. That is a recipe to get fired. That show desperation.
I think if that's the case, if we see multiple quarterbacks and things like that I think it's for certain that Arkansas is winning. 2:30 ABC, we got number 4 Bama at South Carolina. I'm done with South Carolina.
I'm done with South Carolina myself. I'm done with South Carolina.
They may have the worst offensive line in the conference. They may have the worst offensive line in Power 4. I mean, Lenore Sellers is just running for his life. If you could rack up the yardage he picks up just running for his life, just running around in a circle, he's probably like a 2,000-yard rusher this year. I like Bama. It's an 11.5-point line. I like Bama to cover that line. Like I said, that game is at South Carolina, 2:30 ABC. We've got number 15 Missouri traveling to number 10 Vanderbilt, 2:30 ESPN. Vandy's a 2.5-point favorite. I like Vandy. I'm riding with Vandy. When I look at,
I'm with you on that one. Vandy improved himself to me.
Yeah,
they improved himself to me.
They absolutely have. And I look at Vandy as, I just think Diego Pavia is the ultimate gamer. I think you're going to get his best shot every time he comes out. I like, if there's some all-22 film I could get my hands on at the end of the year, I'd like to look at Vandy's run offense. The way they can scheme you up. I like Missouri too. Don't get me wrong. I think they're a really good team, but I would take Diego Pavia over over just about. There's not just from a gamer standpoint that I don't know if there's a better quarterback in the league from just being a gamer. There might be more talented quarterbacks, but he leaves it all on the field. They're solid enough defensively. I like Vandy.
Coach, you like Missouri a heck of a lot more than I like. I'm not really sold on Missouri. You like Missouri a little bit better than I do.
I like them.
I'm not sold on Missouri.
And you know, they're young too. Like Missouri's young at receiver. I think they have some really nice pieces that, you know, if they stay there, I think they'll be really and Drinkwitz stays there. I think they've got a bright future ahead. Number 22, Texas travels to Mississippi State. I think this is your lock of the week. 315.
My what of the week? Mississippi State. Y'all hear me out now. Mississippi State ends the arch for hot. Well, it done been ended, but Mississippi State upsets Texas on Saturday.
That game is at 3:15 on SEC Network. I think that's where Mississippi State lives from a TV standpoint. They play a lot of those 3:15 SEC Network games. I'm riding with the Dogs. I think there's somebody that's going to get somebody, and I don't want that somebody to be Ole Miss. So it's time for them to get somebody.
Yeah,
so,
let it be Texas, because I don't need them problems.
I think this is the week for them. Number 3, A&M travels to LSU. Number 20 LSU. 6:30 ABC, a night game in Tiger Stadium. A&M's a 2.5-point favorite. And coach, it's not enough. I've got LSU.
You got LSU?
I've got LSU.
Coach, I was about to ask you, would this third loss? I was going to say, was this going to end it for LSU?
If it's a loss, I mean, are we talking about ending Brian Kelly, or are we talking
is this Kelly done? If he loses this game, is this not now, but at the end of the season?
I think there's a discussion. I don't know if LSU's there yet. I haven't. You just don't. You hear it from the fan base, but from an administration standpoint, you're not hearing the same frustration like you do with.
But coach, now let's look at what they got now. They got Texas A&M. They got to go to Alabama, which is the hottest team in the SEC right now. It's the hottest team in the SEC right now, and they got to go to Oklahoma at the end of the season. And they got Arkansas at home. They got Western Kentucky at home. If they lose to A&M, they're going to lose to either Bama or Oklahoma. That's a possible Brian Kelly 4-loss team at LSU.
Yeah.
That's ugly.
And I think that this is the hardest game of the week that I've had just looking at. And the reason why I end up with LSU is this is kind of, to me, this is your last stand. If you have any hopes of salvaging a season, getting back on track, you have the perfect opportunity with a night game in Tiger Stadium at home. I like A&M's defense a lot, but I think it's just different playing on the road in the SEC with a line that close. I think home teams in the SEC are 18-10 against the spread.
Hey, somebody just said in the chat, night games in Tiger Stadium. It's just a different atmosphere there.
It's hard to pick against a home, especially with that type of home field environment.
Yeah.
I struggle picking A&M. But I mean, I think this is the toughest game on the slate that I had. Besides Ole Miss, for me staring at it. I've stared at it all week. But moving on, Tennessee, number 17, Tennessee is an 8.5-point favorite at Kentucky, 6:45 SEC Network. There's not really much to talk about here. I like Tennessee. Kentucky is that team that tries every week, but I don't think they have enough. I don't think they can score enough to keep up with Tennessee. I think, and Heupel, in games where Heupel thinks he can run the score up, Heupel's going to run the score up. So I've got Tennessee. In the last SEC game of the week, we got number 8, Ole Miss.
Hold on, it's time for Coach Benji
key of the game.
It's time for the keys of the game.
Hey, Coach, you
Come on, man.
I love talking college football. I get excited about it. You had to pull me back real quick. I was about to dive right on in there. So thank you for
Man, I don't work too hard on that stuff, man.
Yeah, don't make me mess that up. So yeah, Ole Miss, number 8, Ole Miss travels to number 13, Oklahoma. Get your Tums out. It's a heartburn scenario. This is, I think, I've said a lot that 10-2 SEC teams should get in the playoffs. They should. I think we're going to have I think this is a season though where there's so many of them. Your resume is going to count. They're going to have to look deep into your resume. I think if you're Ole Miss, this is one you've got to get if you want to keep your chances alive. I don't think 10-2 with losses at Georgia, Oklahoma, that puts your best win being a potential 8-4 LSU team. I think this is one you got to get. That game's 11 o'clock on ABC, 5.5-point line. My keys for a win offensively, I've said it every week because with the quarterback situation, I think it's the best way to protect him. You've got to win on early downs. You've got to win on those downs where you can run those RPOs. You don't get in situations where it's one or the other. You can have access throws tagged to a run. You're not in long distance situations where you have to force the ball downfield, because I know you said something in my live the other night, Coach, where you think he is a good downfield passer, and I think he's a good downfield passer, but he's not elite. We saw I think the first pass he really took down the field against Georgia was to Daquan Wright, who I think if it's completed, it's probably a 70-yard gain when you tack on the run, and he spiked it at his feet. I think you've got to scheme a way for him to have those easy throws, and you've got to, and by doing that, you win on early downs. And then I think Oklahoma probably, I would say, could possibly be the best defense in the league. You have to figure your protection. You've got to figure your protection out. They're going to show you simulated pressures. They're going to show you the book. That's one thing Brent Venables is going to do. He's going to throw the book at you. You've got to be able to communicate and understand where the pressure's at and set your protection and throw hot. I think those are the keys for the offense. Keys for the defense. There is a 95% chance of rain all day tomorrow. There's a 95% chance all day Saturday. Stop the run. I think that John Mateers had thumb surgery to his throwing hand. I don't think.
I wish you'd have told me that last week.
I don't think surgically repaired thumb and rain are going to go well together.
How are we going to be co-hosts and you don't share that information with me?
Coach, I've been said he's been hurt.
One pick in my parlay was him. One. But go ahead.
But I think you have to stop the run and force him. If the weather's what they say it is, I think you have to make them beat you throwing. And I know.
Let me answer that in the chat. They said the Rebs have to come. They got to have a fast start. I don't think that's ever been a problem for us, or fast starts.
Yeah,
we do that.
They're on script. When they go on their script, we
don't sustain it.
But I think you've got to stop the run. I would like to see us make John Mateer beat us throwing it down the field, because he is a lot healthier. If you go back and look at him against Texas, him pushing the ball downfield was a struggle. I mean, he was missing guys 5 yards inside, 5 yards outside. It wasn't close. It was better last week, but I don't think it's there. I think he's going to, you can't blow coverages. You got to play good coverage. But if you play good coverages,
I hate face, but we back to face guard, Coach. We are back to face guard.
You gotta hope that through this week something got figured out. Some come to Jesus happened. I know, but I think that's your best bet. I think if you get in a situation where they just run it constantly, and I don't think Oklahoma has an above that. I think they're average on the offensive line, but I don't want to see them just run the ball 5 yards a carry like Georgia did. Because if you can run the ball 5 yards a carry, I mean, that's your recipe, especially in a game like this where rain is going to be such a factor.
But I think we can't rush we can't rush Q1 Lacey 12 times. That was his carries last week.
Yeah, I mean,
You talk about helping Chambliss out. You know, rushing the ball 12 times is not helping Chambliss out.
but a lot of that, coach, a lot of that though, there's a run tag to it. They just played a lot of. I mean, they played what we saw several. I mean, the long touchdown to Dejon Strublin.
They played off.
Simulated pressure, played off man coverage, and you either hand that off or you throw the hit.
Even in that,
they throw it a lot off the RPO. They throw the
if you see that, take the RPO off and just run the football so you can get where you're trying to get to.
Well, I mean, I'm sorry. There's certain times, especially in short yardage, like 3rd and 2, 2nd and short. That's I would. If you made me guess, I would say 9 of Lacey's 12 carries were in very short yardage. And I don't know why on the early downs it's not just a straight run. They're going to have something tagged to it. That's just what they do. And I mean, it's worked for them. They scored outside of the last 2 drives of the Georgia game. They scored 5 touchdowns. 5 touchdowns on 7 drives. That should win you ball games.
Yeah.
My last key for the defense is you have to find number 5 on 3rd down and make sure you don't let him get open. He is their most that's Isaiah Satania. He is their most targeted receiver on 3rd down. They love to do different things with him, whether it's motion, whether they stack the receiver and they'll kind of clear out with the guy in front, and then he runs. It could be some sort of option route where if it's man, he keeps moving, or he may sit it down in coverage. They like finding him. I think he's their best guy in the receiving corps. Find him, make sure you cover him because he's a big time play. He's a big play guy for them.
Well, Coach, I hope you sent this to Lane, and I hope you sent this to Charlie Weiss Jr. And I hope you sent it to everybody that's on the staff because I feel like if Ole Miss lose this game, I don't think 10-2 is going to get us in.
I don't think it does either, Coach. I like I said earlier, I think that in a normal year.
Hold on, let me change that. 10-2 now. If you're 10-2 later, it might, but 10-2 now don't get you in.
But I think if you went 10-2 with a win on the road at Oklahoma,
that's different.
And a loss at State, that may be different. I think
if whoa. Why you say State?
That's the only game.
No, Coach, goddamn, you can say anybody else. South Carolina.
It's not happening, Coach. They're not losing to South Carolina. They're not losing to Florida.
The Citadel or something, man. Don't say State.
There's a team outside of Oklahoma that gets them. It's State. I think if you rank their opponents, remaining opponents by toughness, it's Oklahoma, State, Florida, South Carolina, Citadel.
You got Florida ahead of South Carolina?
South Carolina is terrible, Coach. They are awful. They can't block anybody. Like I watched and they're okay defensively. And Sellers may have a game where he gets somebody, and it may be you. If nobody blocks for him though, how does he have that game? Because Oklahoma lived in the backfield. I think that this is a must-win game for your resume. If you're going to go 10-2, this is a game you got to have for your resume.
Got to have it. And I think what held us back last year, what is to the loss at Florida. I think we could have got by with the loss at LSU.
You lost at home to Kentucky, Coach.
But you know what? But I think it was so early that they kind of forgave us.
No, certainly. If you go beat Florida, you were in the playoffs.
Yeah, you're in the playoffs. Because I think
it's different this year.
Yeah, the Kentucky loss was so early that it gave voters time to let them take a deep breath. And then, the game that we lost at LSU, wasn't that it was in overtime? Wasn't it? Or did it get overtime?
It was in overtime.
So you get grace for that. But losing to Florida, that was the problem. And if you can beat Oklahoma at Oklahoma, I think that you still got one more loss that you're still in. But if you lose,
I'm telling you, Coach, if they beat Oklahoma Saturday, I think they're 11-1 before they're 10-2.
Okay. But I do. But I will say this: if we lose to Oklahoma, then we're going to drop from 8 to, I see the voters putting us, I want to say 20. They're
I
going
was
to
gonna
put
say
us.
18, probably 18
They're
to
going to
20.
put us far enough because we're not Notre Dame. We don't get the Notre Dame treatment. They're going to put us far enough unless some stuff start happening in that top 10 where people start losing. I can see them put. And the reason why I say that, like, if we lose this game and everything go according to what you just said, then that means you got a Missouri that just lost, and you will have Texas out of the top 25. You got LSU upsetting A&M, so A&M is not going to move that far. A&M losing that game would drop them to 3 to 10, maybe.
Yeah, I think they'd stay in the top 10. That's a
And
tough place to play.
and I think just because of that, that's going to bump Ole Miss down to 2021, and then we're not getting out. I don't care if we run off 4 games unless something go crazy at the top. I don't see us climbing back to that 12 spot.
Your problem is that the Big 12 is not beating up on each other like you thought they would. There's some teams that's standing out that's going to get to. There's going to be multiple 10-2 or 11-1 Big 12 teams. The Big 10, the top of the Big 10 is not losing games. They're not having that fall off week. The SEC is beating up on each other. I think.
That's every, going to 9 games is not going to fix the situation.
I think it fixes the situation from the fact that you're just not going to have so many 10-2 teams. It's an extra game that somebody's going to lose.
Well, Coach, man, you just broke that down for us, and now we on the clock. Now we waiting. But since we in the college era right now, since we in college, let's make sure that none of the NBA players are listening to this podcast. It's time for.
Yeah, what can I do for you, Rod? You just tell me, what can I do for you?
Show me the money.
Coach, it's time for you to show the people the money. It's time for the top 25. Your odds. Let us know where we need to go with it, Coach.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give you some locks here. I'm not gonna pick every top 25 game because I'll get absolutely, if my record ain't good, people let me know about it. But I'll give you some locks. But we'll talk about them all. 11 a.m. on Fox, Indiana, UCLA. Indiana's a 25.5 point favorite, which is kind of crazy to me. I think that Indiana's really good. I think they're a legitimate playoff run, not just make the playoffs. They're a playoff run team. They could go deep in it. UCLA's figured some things out, especially offensively. They score points. They've got a quarterback that played in the college football playoff last year.
Let me write this stuff down as you talk.
I just, I kind of wonder about that game, but I can't put it as a lock. That's a lot of points. I just can't. It's hard for me. Some of these lines, man, it's crazy. Number 6, Oregon. They take on Wisconsin, 6 o'clock FS1. Oregon's a 31.5 point favorite. Wisconsin is a shell of its former self. I think even though Luke Fickell got the vote of confidence, I don't know. I got it's not my lock, but I like Oregon in that one. Georgia Tech versus Syracuse, 11 a.m. ESPN, 16.5. Is that a lot of points for a Georgia Tech team, or do you think it's a lot of points?
Maybe my mind is still stuck on the wing T Georgia Tech, and that might be my problem right now. And I just this new Georgia Tech team is.
They did Duke pretty dirty, and Duke's not a bottom of the ACC school, and they did them pretty dirty.
And they are at home. They're at home.
They're at home. That's 16.5, though, is just too much for me to touch it. That's a lot of points. But I like Georgia Tech. I think that they're legitimate. I think they control their own destiny to potentially be a top 4 and get a bye in the playoffs. Miami versus Stanford, 6 o'clock ESPN. Miami's coming in at number 9. They're a 30.5 point favorite. I almost say lay them. I know I say I hate a lot of points, and I'm not touching this game either. But I'm going to say lay them after what happened to them last week. I think they're going to come back, and they're a solid football team. I think Louisville's a solid football team. Syracuse, I know what. Stanford, I know what they did last week. They're not doing it 2 weeks in a row. So, I almost say lay 'em. I think Miami handles that. My first lock of the week, though, for the Big 12, number 11 BYU on the road, 2.5-point dog to Iowa State.
Wow.
230 spots.
Mm.
You look at BYU, and they're not blowing folks out. They're winning games, and they don't make a ton of mistakes. They just do what they do to win. I think that trend continues. I don't think this is a team that beats them.
So you take BYU outright?
I take BYU outright. They win the game. 2.5 points ain't enough for me to say cover. They might as well go ahead and go outright. Let's get them outright. I think BYU is undefeated after going into Sunday.
Wow.
That's my Big 12 lock. Texas Tech is a 37.5-point favorite versus Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State. 3 o'clock ESPNU. Oklahoma State's terrible. That probably could have been my lock of the week, but that's a lot of points. Texas Tech still, I know they lost to Arizona State. They're a solid team. I think as bad as Oklahoma State is, if y'all are crazy enough to touch that game, y'all go right ahead. I'm not. Number 16, Virginia at North Carolina, 11 a.m. ACC Network. Virginia's a 10.5-point favorite. Almost got shocked by the Washington State Cougars last week. They survived. North Carolina's not good. Who knows where their coach is going to, or who's going to be their coach next year? Because I don't think it's going to be Bill Belichick.
Virginia covers.
I think Virginia covers that line.
Easily.
What could have been
I think the line is too low.
Think so?
I think that line is too low.
Yeah. Which I don't know. North Carolina has played better as of late, but so maybe that's why the line's kind of leaning this way. But I'm with you. I can see Virginia winning by 13, 14, and that covers the line. Yeah. What could have been the game of the year for Memphis at their house is, and they still got a shot, but you got to win this one, and you got to have some luck. Number 18, South Florida is a 6.5-point favorite at the Memphis Tigers. That's an 11 a.m. kickoff, ESPN2. I kind of like South Florida's coach. I think he's going to have him a big job next year.
I'm with you on that one.
I got South Florida there. My ACC lock. Number 19, Louisville is a 25.5-point favorite versus Boston College. That's at 6:30 ACC Network. Boston College is terrible. Louisville just shocked. Miami, I know that could be a spot where they, could have a letdown game after a big win, but they are at home at night, and I think they're pretty solid. And Boston College is not solid. So I'm going to lay the 25.5. That's my ACC lock. Number 21, Cincinnati is a 3.5-point favorite versus Baylor, 3 o'clock ESPN2. Number 23, Illinois is at Washington. Washington's a 4.5-point favorite in this game, Coach. 2:30 Big Ten Network. Washington's not bad. And then you get with the fact that Illinois is traveling across the country to you, may have something to do with it. I don't know. I like Illinois. I liked Luke Altmaier when he was at Ole Miss. I'm gonna cheer for the Illini, but I'm not touching that game. Number 24, Arizona State, 7.5-point favorite versus Houston, 7 p.m. ESPN2. I got a feeling that Arizona State, they've had some letdowns this year. I think they're gonna win and cover that one. And then my Big Ten lock of the week, Michigan is a 14.5-point favorite at Michigan State, 6:30 NBC. Give me Michigan to cover that line. Michigan State, they just kind of are what they are. They're a 6-6 team, and I don't think I think they're 3-4 right now. You could probably get them to 6-6. They play like a 500 team. They're not super explosive offensively. They kind of remind you of that typical Big Ten team that's kind of physical, but I think Michigan is taking some steps in the right direction with their young quarterback. I like them in that game. That's my Big Ten lock of the week.
Coach, man, you laid that out for us, man. We laid it out
If
for
I'm
us.
wrong, just let it go. We won't even talk about it.
Yes, on y'all. Hey, you laid it out for us to play it out. Well, Coach, before we get out of here, man, we do have one more segment, man, that we do want to talk about, and it's story time. It is story time.
Love a good story time.
Story time.
Well, Coach, in the spirit of college football, Coach, I got a story for you. You know, way back in 2009, there was a team, an Ole Miss team. They were good, man. Went 9-4 that year. Houston Nutt, which I didn't discuss on the other night, but he was our head coach. Houston Nutt, he led us to a 9-4 season. We went to the Cotton Bowl and beat Oklahoma State. I think that was that game, man. Dexter McCluster went off. Man, he had his cut. I think it was Pat Summerall. He said, man, that's Dexter McCluster. He is gone. Man, he had a game. The only loss we had that year, we lost to South Carolina 10-16. Bama beat us 3-22. Auburn beat us 20-33. I don't know what happened to the state game. Good gracious alive. We lost 27-41.
Dan Mullen came in and said that I know you at Arkansas, Houston Nutt had a good run against State, but this is about to be a different rivalry.
It was ugly, Coach. But it was after the 2009 season. Man, we were excited. We are back. Woo! I still remember when they hired Houston Nutt. They did the hotty toddy chant, and it was very awkward. He was he didn't even know the words, but he was excited. So we did it, and everything was straight. So now it's the 2010 season. Oh, Coach, we there, man. I'm so excited. It's 2010. It's time to get fired up. Man, the family, we unpulled the grills out. We got the tents popping. Oh, man, we sitting with family members of the players. My nephew, Justin Shaw, even came to the game. Man, we're throwing football with the kids, and the kids are running. Little Trail is running over there, and little Rashad is running over there. Coach, it's just a great time. It's the Ole Miss Rebels. And we're back, man. And we got Jacksonville State. But, man, it's a whole bunch of Bruce people here for some reason. Where they come from? Oh, my goodness. A Bruce Trojan is playing for Jacksonville State. It's Richard Freeland. So we there, all of the Bruce folks are there. We're excited for Richard. Man, it's good to see you playing college football, but you're not going to get tonight because today is our day. So we are so excited. Ole Miss just signed a defensive end. I think his last name was Dorsey. They just got him from the coast, and man, everybody was talking about how good he was. My nephew was sitting in the stands. I played him when I was at Northwest. He ain't nothing to block. I said, nephew, shut up. You just jealous. Coach, I told him he was jealous. I said, he said, Unc, ain't nothing to him. I handled him when I was at Northwest. I said, boy, sit down. You won't eat after the game. So when the game started, Coach, do you remember the quarterback? You remember Nathan Stanley?
Nathan Stanley
was the quarterback. Man, he threw a 41-yard touchdown pass to Melvin Harris. Man, we up 7-0. Man, the cannons is popping. Hotty toddy is going all over the stadium. Everybody, I'm sitting there. I ain't even worried about the game. It's Jacksonville State. Anybody worried about no Jacksonville State? And then we come back. Nathan Stanley again threw a touchdown to Jesse Grandy. Ole Miss is up 14-0. Oh, you cannot fall. You are a non-conference team. You cannot fall to Ole Miss at home like that. It's the first game of the season. We just came off a Cotton Bowl win. No, you in trouble, Jacksonville State. But Jacksonville State got themselves together. After we kicked the field goal, we had a fumble return. You know, we didn't do good. They recovered the fumble, took it back. So we're only up 14-7. And then we kicked Bryson Rose was our kicker then. He kicked the field goal, we up 17-7. And then they kicked the field goal, we up 17-10. But then Nathan Stanley is trying to make his bid for the Heisman. He threw a pass to Marquise Summer. Do you remember that name, Marquise Summer, Coach?
I remember that name.
Man, these names are taking me back to the good old days.
I hadn't heard of I hadn't heard of Melvin Harris in a long time. He was a
Or
big dude.
or maybe not the good old days, but we'll see in a minute. Old Nathan Stanley threw that touchdown to Marcus Summers, and we was up 24-10. Then Enrique Davis. Do you remember big Enrique Davis, the biggest running back that Ole Miss had ever had? He would run over people and knock people off their block. He scored on a 1-yard touchdown, and at halftime, Ole Miss is up 31-10. Man, coach, it's a party. What they used to play, it's a party, it's a party. Man, we are partying at Ole Miss. We beating Jacksonville State 31-10. I'm finna go tell Richard, man, I'm so glad you playing college ball, but you finna lose this one right here because Ole Miss is up 31-10. There's no way we gonna lose this game. Second half come. Then Jacksonville State, they kicked a 44-yard field goal. Ole Miss is up 31-13. We good. Then they get the ball back and they scored on a 2-yard run. It's okay. We're still good. It's 31-20. We're okay. Then they scored again. And now it's 31-26 in the fourth quarter. Now, I don't like the way this game is going right now, but we're okay. We just played sloppy this first game. We got to get this stuff together, man. We ain't going to always be like this. Get this stuff together. We good to go. Bryson Rose kicked another field goal. We up 34-26. So, we good. It's we're up by 8 points. We're good. Then this Alan Bunner kid scores on a pass, and then they get the 2-point conversion, coach. Coach, it's 34-34. I'm getting scared now. I'm getting nervous. Like, wait a minute, what's going on? So then Alan Bunner scored again. Coach, it's 34-41 because the game went into overtime. They scored first. They're up 41-34. Okay, that's fine. We're good. We're good. We gave the ball to Brandon Bolden. You remember Brandon Bolden played with the New England Patriots. Oh, Brandon Bolden got the ball, took it into the end zone. We scored. We got the kick. It's 41-41. Now we get the ball first. Give the ball to big Enrique Davis. Enrique Davis took it from the 2-yard line, punched it in. We kicked the field goal. It's 48-40. It's 48-41. It's over with now. It's over with now, coach. This game is over with. We finna win. They done messed up now. It's an ugly game, but we finna win. But then Kevin Cooper scored. And they scored, and it's 47-48. But wait, they're not sending out the kicker, coach. They going back out there to run a 2-point conversion. So as I look at the sideline, and I look at Houston Nutt, and I'm sweating. And I'm sweating, and my nephew looking all upside of my head. He's looking at me like this. And I was like, nephew, don't look at me like that. It's okay. It's okay. It's a bad first game. I remember that year we beat Memphis 3-0. It wasn't pretty, but we beat them, okay? It's fine. We good. We good. But they ran it. And Calvin Middleton scored the 2-point conversion. And Jacksonville State beat Ole Miss 49-48. But, coach, this is where the story got interesting. I got so mad, I stormed out of Vaught Hemingway Stadium. I was so upset. My brother-in-law say, you ain't gonna stop and eat at the tent? I don't like food no more. I'm gonna eat somewhere else. I'm so mad, coach. I walked to my truck. I'm mad. Then a little kid ran to me. Hey, can I have your autograph? I'm like, oh man, they must have saw my YouTube videos. I've been lifting in, coach. I've been powerlifting now. This is 2009. I'm in the peak of my powerlifting season. I said, sure, little buddy, I'll sign your autograph. Then another kid come. Can I have your autograph? I said, man, coach, man, I am rolling, man. I know we just lost this game, but these kids know who Big Beachmark is. I said, let me sign it. And then the third kid got there. They said, man, can you sign my football? And I said, wait a minute. Coach, I looked around, and I looked where my truck was, and I said, wait a minute. This is where the players park at. These kids think I'm a player, and they're going to go home and say, Dad, who is Yarnell Marks? We got beat so bad, coach. It was such a bad upset that even the parents didn't even realize that I didn't play, and they let their kids run to me and get their autograph. It was a long day. It was a bad day, and we lost the game, and the kids were delirious, and they thought I was a player and thought they was getting an autograph from a good player. Oh, man. What a time to be alive, coach. It was one of the worst moments of my life. I was so
I'd have
embarrassed
been,
when I got home, man.
I'd have been out there signing them away, man.
Yeah, after the third one, I said that's it. So once I realized that was it, I went on, got up in my little truck. I got my little self together because I was embarrassed, and I said, "Yeah, it's been a long day, but we lost the game." But coach, man, hey, good show tonight, man. Appreciate you, Brece, for coming on with us. For those that followed us on TikTok, man, we appreciate y'all tonight, man. Y'all was interacting with us. We was trying our best. If we missed a statement or something, man, forgive us. We'll do better. For those that was chatting with us on Facebook, man, I was trying my best to get back over there. Coach, man, appreciate you, man. Good show tonight, man. Good show tonight. Look like OKC is in overtime for the second game in a row. They're in overtime again, Coach. They just did double overtime with Houston, and they're in overtime with Indiana, who don't have Tyrese Halliburton. So I'm gonna go home and look at some old basketball. But join us tomorrow night for our hurry up offense as we do a recap on the Bruce and Myrtle game. Hopefully we'll have smiles on our faces and Trojan in our heart. So from the offensive coordinator and the defensive coordinator, we appreciate you. Make sure you follow us on Facebook. Make sure you follow us on TikTok. Make sure that you subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, on Spotify, on Amazon, wherever you get your podcast. Make sure you go to the Coaching Coach podcast, hit that subscribe button, set your notifications so you won't miss an episode, and we will see you on tomorrow night. Peace.